I'm absolutely knackered right now. And I'm knackered for two reasons. One, I was up at 5 in the morning to watch this game, watched it and went back to bed for a couple of hours. I'm still feeling a little bit worn out. And two, I'm knackered from reading through all the tweets slagging off certain West Ham players after this defeat. It's really, honestly, it's not even funny, half of the things people are saying about these players after the game. Yeah, we lost 3-2, and it wasn't great for the most part. But blaming certain individuals and saying that they completely cost us the game, this is the toxicity of West Ham Twitter at its very best. It has finished Newcastle United 3, West Ham United 2. The curse at St James's Park continues for the Hammers. This game was like watching 2019 Roberto in the team. And that's not me slagging off Fabiański, it just was the overall vibe of the game. With West Ham not playing any real good football in the first half, giving away comical, cheap goals, and just not doing enough to really win the game from the start. This was a chance for West Ham to go third in the table. We've blown that now. Well, it's not completely, but we've blown it this weekend. We got to depend now on Liverpool losing, or we could drop to 6th by Monday. And the whole thing with this game was the fact that I didn't really see a lot of productivity from West Ham until that second half. And it proves the clubs and the teams reactive. Because we had to go 2-0 down and give away two really careless goals to start playing again. And yeah, West Ham got it back to 2-2, but we still lost the game. For Newcastle, this is an even bigger win because it means they're closer to safety. But for West Ham, it's a chance wasted. And these final 6 games are going to be, again, 6 cup finals. But today wasn't good. I'm not happy with a lot of things. I'm going to talk about it in this video, starting with the team lineups as per usual. Several changes were made to the starting 11 for West Ham. Ogbonna was back in the team, which was good to see. He's been out for a while, and I said I wanted him straight back in as soon as he was fit. He was straight back in. And Cresswell didn't play today, nor did Masuaku, so Ben Johnson came in on the left. Bowen and Lingard were playing again. I think it looked like 2 up top at first, but it was more like Jesse Lingard playing behind Jared Bowen, with Bowen as a lone striker. Connor Coventry and Andriy Yarmolenko were on the bench. Both teams played with 5 at the back. Both teams set up defensively. As for Newcastle United, Alanson Maximan Jolinton started as the number 10 and striker with Callum Wilson on the bench, but I had a feeling still Callum Wilson would come on at some point in the game and score because he always has done against West Ham. I said that in the preview. Both teams set up defensively and had 5 at the back. It was quite obvious for Newcastle because they went with a 5 straight at the back. West Ham played with an attempted wing-back system with Johnson and Sofal. And as for that, I was still confident of West Ham getting a win because of the players starting, but Johnson starting in this game made me a little sceptical because of how hit and miss he's been. If you ask me, there was a lack of communication in the first half, and that was what was wrong with West Ham, the lack of communication. It was particularly between the goalkeeper and the defence. Defence weren't doing a hell of a lot to help out Fabiański, and by the 20th minute, Newcastle had 3 shots on target. It was mainly Alanson Maximan causing the problems, though, with his dribbling and his pace. Amount of times that he cut into our defence and got into the box and shot, it was getting quite prevalent that he would be making a mark on this game. In terms of lack of communication, I didn't really see West Ham move the ball around a hell of a lot. I didn't see a lot of forward-flowing football. We didn't go forward enough. Players were giving the ball away at times. No one was really telling anyone what to do. I didn't hear a lot of shouting, a lot of talking. And we managed to hold off Newcastle for a good 35 minutes. But what happened on that time frame was absolutely comical and something that I haven't seen at West Ham for a long time. It reminded me of back in the day and the reasons why I used to dislike West Ham in the past when they gave away cheap goals. Because, spoiler alert, this was a cheap goal. Craig Dawson was already on a yellow card. It was a situation with a counter-attack where a Newcastle player, I think it was Joelinton, went into West Ham's half one-on-one. Dawson flies in straight at Joelinton, never wins the ball. Joelinton goes flying into the air and down. Advantage is played. Alan Saint-Maximin goes one-on-one with Fabiański. Fabiański and Diop have a miscommunication, and it results in Diop putting it into his own net, flinging it off of Fabiański and going off Diop's foot and into the goal. And it goes down as an Issa Diop own goal. Alan Saint-Maximin wanted to claim that, of course. And after that goal went in, the referee went and showed Dawson the second yellow. So West Ham are now down to 10 men and had just given up a stupid bloody goal. So that wasn't great at all. And like I say, comical's the only way to describe that. Dawson was absolutely stupid for flying in like that. But we do have reinforcements in the defence, and I think that Balbuena's going to now start the next 3 games. Dawson's going to probably get banned for 3 games now. And to be honest, I won't miss him, given how he's been recently. The last time Dawson was really good for us was in the Leeds game when he scored a goal. Since then, he's scored back-to-back own goals in games. He's not been doing his job enough. And then you've got Issa Diop, who's been careless and clumsy. And this one, I feel sorry for Fabiański because I think he was trying to tell Diop to leave the ball alone and let Fabiański get it, but Diop was more intent on trying to clear it himself. It was awkward, resulted in an awkward goal being conceded. At this point, it was 1-0 to Newcastle. 2-0 was arguably worse than 1-0, not just because of the scoreline, but this goal again. Corner comes in. Fabiański tries to catch it, fumbles it straight into the path of Joelinton, and he scores. Gifted Joelinton a goal, and he's not even that great. He's like the favela Freddie Picquion. And we gifted Newcastle another goal. It was absolutely atrocious. And yeah, Fabiański didn't have a good game today. That topped it off for him. The fact that he had a miscommunication with the defender. The fact that he fumbled the ball and conceded a goal directly in front of him. It was really painful to watch for me as a West Ham fan. It was painful to watch these goals getting conceded because the way Newcastle had to score, that was effortless. Own goal and then just being presented with the gift of a loose ball. 2-0 down at half-time. Managers looking absolutely pissed off, for lack of a better word. And I reckon Moyes must have given them a screaming at half-time and told them, we're down to 10 men because of a stupid mistake. Well, it wasn't even a mistake, it was a stupid tackle. Stupid mistakes have given 2 goals away. It's not like West Ham to do that, really. But we haven't seen that for a good 2 years or so. But, oh my goodness. In that situation, I would have rather been 3-0 up and us end up going to 3-2. Because at least we'd have been winning. Was this going to be like reverse psychology thing? Are we going to let them go 2-0 up and then go 3-2 up in the second half? Because we've last 4 or 5 games, we've either scored or conceded 3 goals. So that must be some record in the Premier League or something. But it looked like it was going to be one of those days, really, when it wasn't going to go our way. The whole vibe of the game was bad. The emotion wasn't there. The passion wasn't really there. And things were falling apart. West Ham had about 2/3 of possession in the second half, which was quite similar to the first half, but West Ham made this possession in the second half count more than it did in the first. West Ham went forward a lot more and looked a lot more energetic and likely to score. Chances were coming for West Ham, and although some of them were quite wasteful, i.e. Sofal's header, Dubravka and Bowen's 1-on-1 being saved, there were some positive signs at least. West Ham had regrouped and decided to have a new plan of attack. I think Noble went further back into a centre-back kind of role so that Fornals and Souček could go forward a bit more. It did kind of work. Souček went forward a little bit more. West Ham still had more possession of the ball and were trying to make something of it. So when I say that, I mean that something good was about to come, and West Ham did manage to get a goal back. Yeah, Issa Diop heads it into the net from a Jared Bowen cross. It's 2-1. Diop isn't forgiven for scoring that goal still at that point, because he was quite error-prone, which has been the case with him quite a lot anyway. Just half the deficit, and it gave West Ham some light back in the game. So I wasn't mad about us scoring the goal, but overall, our defence was bad, even with that goal. It was sloppy. I mean, Dawson, before he got sent off, made that stupid tackle and didn't really do a hell of a lot. Diop wasn't consistent. He never really has been this season. And also, Ben Johnson was struggling a bit. Johnson's crossing was good. His crossing was good, but his defensive aspect was not. And he's still a young lad. He's 21 years old, so he's got a lot to learn. But he wasn't really defending very well. None of the defence was working very well with each other. Back on topic, it was 2-1 now. West Ham had a little bit of hope to try and get back into the game, and there was still time to get a few more goals. Saïd Benrahma came on, and off came Mark Noble. As for Newcastle, Callum Wilson came on, and off came Alan Saint-Maximin. The substitution for us came at a good time because we just scored a goal, and we needed another attacker on. Benrahma coming on was a good substitution at that moment. Then came a bit of VAR controversy, and it's usually West Ham who suffer with this, but this time Newcastle had to get the poopy end of the stick. There was a call for a handball in the penalty area, and it was against Souček, and it was either Ritchie or Longstaff, I can't remember who. One of the Newcastle players went in with Souček and put his arm across his face to try and stop the ball. On my instinct, I thought that was a penalty because he could have headed that ball away, and Souček didn't do anything to lift the ball onto the player's arm. He could have, not had his arm there and just headed the ball, but his arm was in the way, and it was penalty to West Ham. Jesse Lingard stepped up to take it, and he hit it in off the post, into the net, 2-2, game is back on. And this is when things, I thought, would start to get a bit more interesting. And, they kind of did. They got nerve-wracking, but they got interesting. A few heart-in-the-mouth moments came here. Newcastle tried to score. I think it was Callum Wilson who went into the box and laid it off. Jacob Murphy shot at goal. Went past Fabiański, but Ben Johnson stopped it on the line. Newcastle players called to see if it was a goal. It wasn't. Ben Johnson with an absolutely brilliant clearance. I said that his defensive aspect in the game was lacking. That was his one little moment of, for lack of a better word, brilliance in the game. The fact that he denied that goal. Like I say, his crossing was good, but his defence was bad, bar that one little thing. Newcastle kept threatening. They got the ball back, and unfortunately for us, they scored again. Matt Ritchie puts a cross into the box. Joe Willock head on the ball. Fabiański gets his fist on it, but it goes off the crossbar and into the net. Newcastle have the lead back with around 5 minutes left of normal time. Very disappointing from the goalkeeper. Tried to punch that away, but it ended up going off the bar and into the net. And Fabiański did have a bad game today. He apologised on social media about it. And I don't think he's listening to this, but Fab, it's not your fault today. And you're going to have bad games for us, but you've been immense all season. So Fabiański shouldn't be too downhearted after this. Hopefully it's just a one-off for him. The reaction to this result, because it ended 3-2, the reaction to this result is what gets me a little bit. And I'm going to mention this right now because this is a key talking point. The post-game reaction on social media. There was some Fabiański hate on Twitter. People saying that we need to invest into a new goalkeeper is one thing, and that's quite agreeable. But for people to slag off Fabiański and then slag off Randolph as well, why are you dragging Randolph into that? He wasn't playing today. He wasn't even on the bench because he's injured. So this argument saying, we're scared to go into Europe because we can't rely on Fabiański. We can rely on Fabiański. It was just one bad game, for goodness sake. Stop making out that this is all Fabiański's fault. Because as a goalkeeper, he is the last line of defence, but his defenders didn't really help him out either. part of the defender's job is to help the goalkeeper by not allowing balls to come into the goalkeeper's box. Our players did a really bad job of that. Ben Johnson got slagged off today. Well, he's still young, he's still learning. I think he needs to work on his defensive aspect, but his crossing wasn't too bad. Other people slagged off Ben Rama in this game. Was it all Ben Rama's fault, though? Was it all Ben Rama's fault? Was it his fault that Dawson got sent off? Was it his fault that the ball went off the crossbar and in? Was it his fault that the keeper dropped the ball and West Ham conceded in the first half? No. Ben Rama has glimpses of potential. He has played 24 games this season for West Ham and is yet to score a goal. But the thing is, today he wasn't doing a lot in terms of scoring or assisting because he didn't do that. But I think he did a little bit more than other players did. Immediately after he came on, he got the ball back and tried to run in the opposite direction with it. So that was an early statement from him to get moving and get the ball flowing. The only other thing is that Ben Rama still needs some more chances in the team. Some people are saying that he's overrated and one of the worst signings ever. This is going back to the toxicity of West Ham Twitter that I talked about earlier. We got fans who just like to moan, fans who stir the pot, fans who just say stupid things. You know what I'm saying? Fans who just tweet without thinking about it. Keyboard warrior types. No. The bottom line is, and in my opinion anyway, and others may agree, Fabiański had a bad game today, but it doesn't define him overall. Johnson's still young and needs to improve, and Ben Rama has a lot to offer, but he just needs more chances to flourish. It finished 3-2 in this game. Yeah, individual errors were to blame for this, but it's not the end of the world. We go again when we play Chelsea next week. Thank you very much for watching the aftermath. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Next week, Off the Press will be back. I'll have the preview for the Chelsea game and I might throw over to you in there if I have time as well. Thank you very much for watching this. Take care and I'll see you all soon.